while you're resting, I want to serve you with a little quick meal, a little snack. If I can, I'll give you a snack. And what I want to basically, just in meditating and thinking, I want to go from, I think it's St. Matthew's, I think it's the 25th chapter and the 14th through the 14th to the 30th verse, where it basically, my message, you see my title, it says, do not bury your talent. And my premise is going to be from there where this good man, he had these talents, but he had to go away to this far country for a season and for a time. And so what he had, he didn't want it to just be there. He didn't want it to, he wanted to have more than he had, the talents, the money. And so what he did, because while he was away, he needed to supplement, and a certain amount of money had to be still rolling and still humming and still going. And so he went away, but he had these 3 servants, and he told his one servant, he gave his one servant 5 talents and told him to work the gifts, to occupy till he come. Told the 2, do the same thing. Then he told the one that had the talent, gave the one talent, told him to occupy till I come back. And so when I come back, I reward you. And so the one that had 5 worked and expanded what he had, what she had, expanded it, worked, grew, got more what it had. Then the one that had 2 talents worked, did what he did, expanded, did his best, and followed the obedience of the master. But the one that had one disobeyed. He disobeyed. She disobeyed, and didn't do nothing at all. And when the master came back to reward those gifts that he had given, to see if those gifts, they've used those gifts, those abilities have grown, those talents, and expanded what they were. And he came back and he saw the one that had 5 was working, and had acquired more. The one that had 2 worked, acquired more. But the one that had 1 didn't work at all. And if I could just say in my mind, the one that had 1 just complained, didn't do nothing at all. Because if you notice, when the master came back, the one complained. You reap where you don't sow, and you was a good man and all that. And so basically you didn't do nothing. And so what the master did, the one that didn't do nothing at all, the talent that God gave, that master gave, that one that didn't do nothing, he took it from him, took that gift and gave it to one that had 5, had 10. And the one that didn't have nothing at all, but had 1, he threw him in outer darkness. And so just think about it. I'm going to use this as an example. Just think about the talent that God has given us, and he's telling us to use, to grow, to occupy, to dwell there, to make it expand. Because the thing about it, inside of us, inside of our heart, the Bible says we have this excellency in this earthen vessel, that the excellency of Christ, we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of Christ might be revealed in him, not in us. So we have a gift that's buried in us, and that's love. We have love, we have peace, we have a smile, we have kindness, we have God's gift. And when God gives you love, when God gives you even a marriage, or give you a kids, or give you something to possess, to grow, to make expand, to dwell in, to live in, make it livable, to make it suitable, but you don't do nothing at all but complain, instead of saying, well, God, you done everything anyway. Why should I do anything? You reap where you don't sow, and so why should I do nothing? You know, and so this is where many people are. And the one that had the 1 talent, the one that God told them what to do something, to use, to occupy, to dwell, to expand, to work, to flip it, to flip what I've given you, to expand what I've given you, to grow what I've given you. And if you've grown what I've given you, when I come back, I'll reward you more. In the sense of us, I mentioned, just think about the heart, inside of our heart itself, and what God has put in our heart. Love, peace, happiness. The Bible even says that God has given every man a measure of faith, a measure, a talent. God has given everyone of us a talent, whatever level that talent is, and all you need is the size of a mustard seed to move a mountain. And so just think about it. God has given every one of us a talent. He's given every one of us a heart. He's given everyone's love. He's given one of us faith, a measure of faith. We've given all of us a measure of faith. And the difference between dead faith and lively faith is you use it. You apply your faith. And those that walk in doubt, and those that never receive blessings, those people who always complain, those people always live in doubt, those people never getting blessed, but always complaining on why me and why when, is because they didn't embrace faith. They didn't use what God gave them. They didn't apply their faith. They didn't. And see, because the thing about it, faith doesn't feel good. When faith is being applied, then you're being stretched. If you're uncomfortable, if you're being challenged, you're uncomfortable, your world is being attacked, your mind is being attacked, your emotions are being attacked, what you believe in is being attacked, wherein it seems like you're lying. It seems like it's not going to happen. It seems like people are looking at you crazy because you're believing in something that no one else will believe in. See, faith is also going against the grind, going against the grade. Faith is unpopular. So it takes a strong determination. It takes a focus to have faith. And that focus is God. It takes a focus. If you want faith, it takes a focus. And that focus is God. The longer you stay on God, you will have faith. Because God says, the Bible says, in Isaiah 26:3 says that God will keep those in perfect peace whose mind is stayed upon him. And so if your mind is stayed upon him, then you're in perfect peace. So in other words, your faith is going. God has got your faith. If you got God, God got your faith. If you believe in God, God's going to take care of your faith. He's going to take care. He's going to make sure that you grow. And so if he told you, if he's giving you a gift, he's giving you the talent, he's giving you a heart, he's giving you life, that's a gift too. He's giving you love, he's giving you a marriage, or whatever he's giving you, faith, he's giving you faith, a measure of faith. He's giving everyone an ability. He's giving all of us an ability. And so based on how you use your ability will determine what kind of reward you have, because the Bible says he's going to give every man according to the deeds that are done in our body. And it's not what goes in our mouth, but what comes out that will we be defiled. So when God comes to your situation, when it's reward time, when it's penalty time, if you're reaping a storm of bad stuff, that was what you planted. Because the Bible said, be not deceived, God is not mocked, whatsoever man soweth, that will also reap. If bad stuff is coming up, then bad stuff you planted. If bad stuff is coming up, there's bad stuff you planted. Or if there's a warfare that's coming, if there's a warfare that you're receiving or coming, you're receiving a warfare, and you've wholly followed God, and you know your heart, and you know that what's coming against you is a total opposite of because of your faith in God, then know that this attack, when you've done what's right, this attack is of the adversary. But this attack also, it is not to destroy you. This attack is for God to prove his word, to prove his faith in you. This is what it is. If you're being attacked, then God is allowing the enemy, the trials of this life, to try your faith. To try your faith. And in the end, God knows that you're going to be faithful. You're going to remain faithful in the trying of your faith. When you're in fire, your faith is under attack. Your faith is being tried. But your faith is being refined. Your faith is expanding. Your faith is growing. That's what the master meant by occupying. Occupying means to abide, to live, to rule, to dwell, to expand, to use what it is that God has given you and make it happen. Make something out of nothing. You create something. Work with what God has put in your hands. That's what he's saying. He don't want you to sit and look at it, but he wants you to live. Live and do your best and serve him. And in the end, when he come back, based on the deeds that are done in your body and your heart, he's going to reward you according to you. Not your mama, not your dad, not the bishop, not the apostle, evangelist, pastor, and teacher, but you. God's going to reward you. What are you doing? What's in your heart? What God has given you, what are you doing with it? Don't talk about what, oh, they ain't doing this, he ain't doing this, she ain't doing that, the preacher ain't doing that, they ain't living this kind of way. What about you? What are you doing? What are you doing with what God has given you? That's the question. What are you doing? What are you doing? Work out your own soul salvation with fear and trembling. What are you doing? Are you living right? Are you treating your brother and your sister right? Are you forgiving? Are you turning the other cheek? Are you, when you see your brother, your sister, or your brother or sister in a fault, are you considering yourself? Are you going in the spirit of meekness? Are you restoring them? Or are you being condescending? Are you following peace with all men and holiness? Or are you walking in bitterness? So the questions, those are the questions. Can nobody answer but you? Can nobody? And so it's on you. It's in your court. The ball is in your court. What are you going to do with it? Have a good day.